The president's speech earlier when we talked to Cindy Caesar, so we rejoin her now with that. Cindy.
Well, and of course, we're very sorry about that. We were getting some signals to wrap up. We thought that we were done, but of course, we would love to hear from the Democrats at this time. And joining me now live is Marsha Simms. You know, you are a local registered Democrat, yes, a foster mother of, yes, 4 children, yes, and an attorney. So, yes, tell me what you were hoping to hear tonight.
I was hoping to hear more of a job creation program. I was hoping to hear more about health care for people who don't have jobs. He didn't talk about COBRA. Most people can't afford COBRA. If you lose your job, you get a slip maybe 3 months later down the line, and they say, hey, you can pay us $500 a month for your health care. Well, if you don't have a job, how are you going to pay health care? I didn't hear anything about the creation of permanent jobs. You have a lot of people working 2 and 3 part-time jobs. I didn't hear anything about boosting the economy. In Nevada, we've lost maybe 15,000 jobs in the hotel industry. I heard about a program for putting money in a tax account, or I guess it's a health account. I disagree with that. If you don't have a job, you don't have money to put in a health account. He talked about a program to help immigrants with, I guess, job training. What about the people who are currently unemployed? I believe we've lost more jobs since he's been in office, since the Great Depression. What about retraining those people? What about helping them get health care? Especially as a person that lives in Nevada, and as a foster mother, I see the effects of people losing their jobs every day. They can't afford to take care of their kids go into the foster care system, and I enjoy providing that type of service, but I would like money spent to help parents or low-income people get jobs, to provide for their families. And I didn't hear any of that. I am deeply, deeply disappointed because I see the effects of what not having a job can mean to a person. Especially for Nevada, I didn't hear him talk about Yucca Mountain. Because a lot of people may say, hey, I don't want to go to Nevada to gamble anymore because they're going to have nuclear waste. That is our major economy, the casinos. And if Yucca Mountain has an adverse effect on that, I really don't know if that will happen, but that's a possibility. He didn't talk about how he was going to train high school students for becoming better at math or science. He didn't talk about programs to help children in reference to receiving better education. He said, he talked about a tax cut in reference to how that was making the economy grow, but the economy has actually decreased because they say 309,000 people have stopped looking for jobs. So I think there was supposed to be a 2% increase in job. I'm not familiar with it, but I do know you have more people out of work. I just wanted to hear about job creation. I wanted to hear about health care for the average American. I wanted to hear about what he was going to do to build our economy now. I didn't want to hear about how, and the foreign policy is great. That's really great. But what about the American economy? What about programs for Americans? What about programs for businessmen other than capital gains? Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, you know, in an hour speech, we only have time to touch on so many things. But of course, we will have more on the details of this speech, and as well as what the local residents we gathered here tonight had to say about this speech on later editions of Channel 8 Eyewitness News. Back to you in the studio.